Okay, ready? Come. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majja pamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusana Thana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Idang me silang Maggapala nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa Sa. Right, let us do some guided Maranasati before we start. Right, let us relax. Relax the body. Relax the body. Keep the mind open, calm and peaceful. Being present here and now. Relax on top of the head, forehead, face, neck and shoulders. Relax the arms. Relax the chest, stomach area, spine, back. Relax the buttocks, relax the hips, relax the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, soles, toes. So relax the body, but keep the mind open and alert and peaceful. My life is uncertain. My life is uncertain. My death is certain. My death is certain. My death is sure to come. I do not know when. I do not know how or where, but it will surely come. When death comes, it will take everything away. It will rob everything away. My possessions, my wealth, my name and fame and gains, all my loved ones will be separated and will rob my life everything away. So today I must make the utmost effort. Today I must make the utmost effort to strive to develop the mind. to develop all the wholesomeness, abandon all the unwholesomeness, until I attain the enlightenment. My life is uncertain. My life is uncertain. My death is certain. My death is sure to come. I do not know when, where, or how it will come. But it may appear suddenly, tomorrow, day after, 10 years. I truly do not know. When it comes, it will take everything away. It takes all my possessions, my gains, my name and fame. I'll be separated from all my loved ones, and it take away my life. So let me make the utmost effort before death arrives, before death appears on our doorstep. Let us strive. Let us develop the mind. Let us develop all the wholesomeness and abandon all the unwholesomeness before death comes and take everything away. All of us here are subjected to death. Our lives are all uncertain, but our death are certain. They will come like a thief in the night. When death comes, it robs everything away. It robs our possessions, our wealth, our loved ones, our lives. So before death comes, let us arouse the sense of urgency. Let us have the utmost effort to develop the mind, to strive until we attain the enlightenment. Then only we escape from the clutches of death. So let us develop the mind, develop all the wholesomeness, develop all and abandon all the unwholesomeness. before death takes everything away. All our loved ones, near or far, those people whom we do not know, and those people whom you like or dislike, they too are subjected to death. Death is sure to come for them. They too do not know when it will come, how it will come, where it will come. And when they come, but when death comes, it will take everything away from them. So before death comes, let us all make the utmost effort to develop the mind, to strive until we're able to realize Nibbana and escape the clutches of this birth and rebirth. So let us all strive before death comes and take everything away. My life is uncertain. My death is certain. My life is uncertain. My death is certain. We slowly let go of the contemplation, reflection, bring the mind back to the body, feel the body, feel the rise and fall. Being present here and now, then we slowly open our eyes. Right. Yesterday we were talking about the aversion towards the pain, and we have to note the aversion, we have to note all the thoughts that are coming in to trick us to move and so on. So we have to be mindful. We have to know our intention, why we want to move. And especially when it's moving, we have to follow through how the sensation starts to disappear, starts to reduce. Then after that, we stay with that position and try to finish the whole sitting. Now, as best as possible, try not to move. As best as possible. Keep it steady. Try to finish it the whole hour without moving. Bear up as far as you can go. Then I also mentioned about the benefits. That one, when you note the pain, the pain itself, you need tremendous an energy to note the pain. But by noting the pain, you also create a lot of effort, a lot of energy. Yeah? Therefore, mindfulness also improves. Yeah? And of course, also noting the pain, one also become very resilient, much more resilient in our everyday life. Because we'll meet with all kinds of dukkha, all kinds of difficult people, difficult situation. Then with that, our mind doesn't fall into too much aversion, more steady. Sometimes there are fear. Sometimes the places you go, you're not feeling comfortable. Fear arises. But then because of our training, again and again, the mind becomes much more steady. Perhaps less fear, not to say zero fear, but comparatively to before, uh, there are so many things that we're able to note the pain in our everyday life. But mainly we note the pain not because just for that. Those are the side effect, good side effect. But mainly we note the pain because we want to arouse, develop the mindfulness in order for us to progress further and further in the vipassana. Now, yesterday also I mentioned about the balancing, because we are still in the effort as a factor of enlightenment. So here, balancing part, the balancing part of the effort is more towards, we use it especially for the 7 factors of enlightenment. Because one of the biggest aspects of 7 factors of enlightenment is the balancing part. Most of our time we learn about balancing of the mind is between the 5 faculties. But the Buddha also mentioned about the 7 factors of enlightenment as a balancing also. And that it becomes a more elaborate type of balancing the mind. And it's interesting. The day, I think some days back, some talks back, I think I mentioned about the 7 factors of enlightenment. The mindfulness stands on its own. Then you have investigation of Dhamma, you have Viriya or effort, then you have joy. So the second one, the third one, and the fourth one belongs to the effort group, okay? Or belongs to the active group, active state of mind. Then you have the 5, 6, 7. Then you have tranquility, concentration, and you have equanimity. So the 5, 6, and 7, this belongs to the samadhi group or concentration group, or more calm group. So here when it comes to the balancing part, let's say for example, when you are not enough, the mind is not active enough. You also can arouse by joy, which is the piti. Or arouse it by investigation of Dhamma also, if you want, if you know how. But most people will try to balance it with the effort, the actual effort itself. So too when it comes into the more calm group. So the other 3 also, you can use it as a balancing. But again, usually we are taught the balancing is on the concentration. But later part, when it comes to the time we talk about this one, we also we're going to go dwell into the tranquility and how this tranquility or even the equanimity, and we'll see how those things can able to balance the mind too. Yeah? It can, so therefore it can be very interesting, and you can able to tune the mind, yeah, towards the present situation, so that your mind or the noting mind is at the optimum level. Hmm? Yeah. So here, yesterday we talked about a little bit on the effort. Yeah? So the effort, not the effort, the over efforting. We talk about the over efforting, not just the effort. We talk about over efforting because most of the time, when it comes to the balancing, a lot of yogis tends to over effort. Over effort is a few things usually associated with yogis, because one of the main reason of association with this um, over efforting is because of they want to have a quick progress. You want to have a quick progress. So when once they have a quick progress, they make a very strong effort. How they make a strong effort, then how they apply the noting mind is like in the walking meditation. They begin to start off with the walking meditation with a super slow walking meditation. They do not think that first phase is important at all. They don't think about relaxation. They think about making the effort again and again. So with that, sometimes, well, actually a lot of times also, yogi tends to over effort, and then with the over effort, it comes with a lot of bodily tension, mental tension, a restless mind. In other words, you just cannot meditate. No, you just cannot meditate. Now there are places that during in the Dhamma talk, there are the the teachers. The teachers will sit down there and say, every talk effort one, effort, 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 effort. Every talk, effort, 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 effort. Uh, So when they talk about it, which is not to say they are wrong, but the thing is that sometimes the listener, when it tends to take in, then they over push themselves. They over push themselves. So when they over push themselves, then in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, during the meditation, a lot of them end up with a lot of tension in the body, in the forehead, in the neck, in the shoulders. So after that, they cannot meditate. I've seen a number of people like that. I've seen a number of people but the thing is that time I know what is happening, but we don't go and teach them, we are yogi also. So we know what is happening. We know, for me at least, I know when to push, when to relax, when to push again. But for a lot of people, it's tend to just keep going and going and going and going and going. So, when they have that type of attitude, when they have that type of thinking about fast progress, because if you do the walking meditation very slowly, then you think that you're going to have a lot of progress. First few days, if you do that, it's okay. First few days. If you come to a retreat time, let's say, then you do a little more on your third phase, let's say. You do slowly, you try to pay attention to everything. Then it's quite okay, because that time, there's not much of mindfulness in the beginning part. But as you begin to go into like 1 week, 2 weeks, then you got to be careful with that strategy of yours. because that strategy, you're going to over effort the whole meditation. Uh, because we are in the continuous day after day. We are not just only come here 1 week and then we finish and we go back. So here, when we are going into a long retreat, so there is that we need to relax, we need to push, we need to relax, we need to push, we need to relax, we need to push. So when to relax, when to push, again, this is a lot to do with trial and error. Hmm? Hmm. Next thing. So, yesterday also I did mention, yeah, yeah. As I said that during in the walking meditation, especially when you're going into a number of days already, the walking meditation should be like you must able to change your speed, learning to change your speed rather than just stick on to a same speed all the time. Meaning that you want to start off with, if you wish to start off with the first phase, fine. But after that, let's say within like 10 minutes, you already come down clear, straight away you can go into your third phase. But after you do it in the third phase, you feel that the mind is a lot of thinking coming up. Then perhaps you go a little bit faster. Then you go back to second phase. Then no problem. Then after that, you notice that the mind comes down, still clear. Then okay, with that, just continue with that one. Then if you feel that the mind comes again, then you go back to the third phase. You see, there's always, you can change if you like. Yeah? Uh, Generally, with the rule of the thumb, yeah, generally, is that when we do this type of meditation, we walk, sit, usually when we get up, it's better to relax the body first. Usually, yeah. Usually, most of the time, it's good to relax the body first. Yeah? Go to the toilet, be mindful, and you go to the toilet, stretch out a little bit. And then after that, when everything is ready, then be mindful and then do the walking meditation and then learn the feel. And then after that, you go into slow phase. When with the slow phase, then here, don't try to be too stubborn. Once you yogis, and once you go into slow phase, they don't want to go to any faster phase anymore. Yeah? Uh, that also can be a problem when it comes to concentration. At that time we'll talk about it. Yeah? Yeah. Anyway, as I said, during the walking meditation is about learning to be flexible. Yeah? Learning to be flexible when there are times you need to push, you push. You can push longer, you push longer. Sometimes you cannot, you relax it a little bit. So there's a lot of things we can do during the walking meditation. But once in a while, if your sitting meditation, let's say, is good, right to the end of the sitting meditation, everything is very clear. You want to continue from the sitting to the walking. You want to continue. Also, by all means, once in a while, if you want to do that, it's fine. Then that means you begin to get up slowly. You begin to start walking or lifting, pushing, dropping slowly. If you want to do that, perfectly, it's all right. No problem. Once a while, but don't do it too often. Because the lifting, pushing, dropping, a lot of energy is being produced. And sometimes it can overdo the whole thing, overcook the meditation, overcook the walking. Yeah. So this is one of the thing. One of the thing. Yesterday also I did mention that there's something. It's about being because you do so many walking meditation. Per day you do about 4 to 5 walking meditation. And times by how many retreats have you have done. So more or less, you must learn how to feel when to go into the third phase, when you should do the first phase. It's not like in the first time if you come for a retreat, do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, fine, that one, because you must learn the skill how to do that. But after a while, for some time, then more or less you must learn to feel. Feel whether your mind is ready for the slower phase. If it's not, then go a little bit faster. Then you feel that things can be quite slow, then go slower. Then after that, as you walk, you notice your steps and so on. Then after that, once in a while, you learn to feel your mind too. Whether your mind can still able to sustain on the walking or not. Cannot, back again to second phase or first phase. Yeah. So again here, the feel part, how to teach that one? You can teach until here only, as I said, that one finally it's all on your own already. Yeah? So every one of us may be very different, yeah? But it's all from your own understanding of your own mind or own practice. Therefore, you become a very, therefore, you can learn to change whenever the situation suits you. Uh, so, in other words, you become much more clearer type of yogi. Not the one-track mind yogi. One-track mind yogi means once they go slow, they won't go fast already. The gear cannot change already. Like driving, only one gear only. After they slow down, they cannot change already. No matter what the road is, no matter what the situation is. So learn to be flexible a little bit, especially in the walking. Now, the next part, as I said also, during in the sitting or walking, now some people tend to over focus. They tend to over focus on the meditation object. Over focusing over here means that when they take an object, they want to like drill your noting mind into it. You want to really scrutinize into it. Sometimes some yogis think that that we inside the object is the whatever that is going is the truth, like you like what you open up durian, open up, then you see the fruit inside, Uh, they think meditation also open up durian. You can open up, you see nothing one. What I'm trying to say is that if the object is already clear to you, that means its characteristics is being able to show you clearly what is going on. You don't go and dig it out or drill it in some more. Then some yogis tend to they keep on pushing onto it. Like for example, they take a rising and falling. Rising and falling is already clear. I mean, it's going up, going down very clearly, As long as it's clear to you, that time actually your mind is in a state of balance already. Other words, you don't have to do anything. You just keep on watching it only. But some yogis, the problem with it is sometimes with some yogis, they take this rising and falling or any other object, they tend to the moment it's clear, they tend to no. And then it becomes a habit. Once that becomes a habit, every time they sit, every time they walk, or every retreat they come back, they have that same attitude, and then they keep on pushing and pushing and pushing until the whole mind goes into a lot of tension, a lot of pressure. And after that, cannot meditate. Cannot meditate at all. So these type of things are, although the yogi can meditate, generally can meditate, but with this type of attitude they have on the noting part of it, they can end up giving up on this meditation itself. Totally give up. And I've seen, too bad, I've seen monks fall into that category. I've seen yogis fall into that category. In the past, before I was teaching, I've seen monks and nuns, and monks are monks. I've seen people who can able to meditate, starting off with rising, falling, and so on. But somehow or another, they get stuck. They get stuck. Usually that I know of is where the imbalance of the faculties they cannot able to handle. Uh, as I said, one of the thing, one of the skills that you have to develop, a major skill that you have to develop is on the balancing part. The first skill that you have to develop is learning how to walk, sit, and your daily activities. That is a skill. How to walk is a skill. How to lift, push, drop, not. Those are generally is a skill. This is one area. The second skill that you have to develop as a yogi is the area where you have to deal with hindrances. All the sleepiness, thinking mind, doubt, anger, this is another big area you have to deal with them. Again here, this one also sometimes yogi fall because they cannot deal with their aversion. They thought that pain is the problem, but pain is actually not the problem. It's you dislike the pain, your aversion to the pain again and again. Because of that aversion is not checked, they thought that the pain is the one that give them all the problem. So they cannot take the pain, gave up on the meditation. So the next group, the next area where the skill is developed, where the fine tuning of your whole noting mind, your walking, the sitting, daily activities also, the fine tuning is where you come in as a balancing of faculties. This area is where a yogi goes into a longer retreat. Then this area is where you begin to master this type of skills. You cannot do this, you won't able to do it well. Not to say you won't do it at all, but you won't able to do it well if you don't go into a long retreat. The long retreat is where the balancing of the skills, balancing the mind is where it's going to take place. Because you are doing it, your concentration, effort, everything after a week or two is already that high already. It's already quite high already. So more or less, it's like that already. So therefore, we must not over push or under push. So this is one area. As I said, the yogi tend to over push the noting itself, and then it gets into a lot of tension, a lot of problem. What else? What else? Usually, we don't have to talk about under effort. Because it's under effort, that means you're not doing, either the sleepiness comes in. Sleepiness comes in because it will take away all the effort. Oh yeah. Then you're not mindful generally, lazy and so on. This is one area, This is one area. Being lazy, that laziness, sloth and torpor, and so on. That is one area, Under effort. Another type of under effort is like, it's not that you don't have effort. It's that your effort is not enough to balance, especially the calm area. Other words, that one too much The concentration can be too much, or the tranquility can be too much, and you still have effort, but you're not able to match it. So under lah. But you still have, not to say you don't have. So we don't have to talk about that yet, because we're going to deal with that during in that the calm group that time. We're going to deal with that in the calm group. So that one is this one. Now, the next thing. Yesterday also I did mention about all of us, all yogis, when you come for a retreat, whether you are in a long or short retreat, even in the beginning itself, right from the beginning when you learn to how to walk and sit and so on. Although I say it's a skill, but in a way that behind it also, it's still a balancing also. In a way, it's still a balance also. Yeah? You learn how to walk, you learn how to sit, you learn how to walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, sit. It's kind of a balance also. Yeah? You cannot overdo the whole thing. You overdo again, it becomes too much. Or sometimes some yogis overdo certain things, the whole mind become blank. Yeah? Then also they cannot meditate. Yeah? So now, the thing is that, as I said, all yogis will definitely goes into imbalance of the state of mind. The noting mind goes into a state of imbalance. You cannot run away from it because the state of mind is impermanence and they arises due to conditions. So all these conditions, sometimes it go haywire, then your whole noting mind goes into also haywire. Yeah? So how do we detect them? How do we know that at that moment of time, the mind goes into imbalance already? Yeah? For example, let's put it another way. If you have COVID, let's say, what are the symptoms? Yeah. So you have a COVID, what are the symptoms? Perhaps you got fever, perhaps you got sore throat, perhaps you got this and that. So agak lah, maybe lah, I know. COVID 来了咯. agak lah, you know. So the same thing, when you go into overbalance, over efforting, so what are the symptoms that is coming in to the yogi? Yeah. And that's the nature of how we become more sensitive towards our mind and the body. How become more sensitive towards them and begin to catch hold of their little tiny thing that it comes up before they go into too much. That would be very good, isn't it? Uh, uh, so sometimes nowadays with little coughing only, they eat a lot vitamin C lah, vitamin D lah, what the Chinese herb lah, whatever can muscle already. So to the same thing here. So too when we have all these things, we learn how to again to rectify the whole situation. Now, one of the symptoms that is going to come up, of course, this is the restless mind. The mind is not just only restless, but sometimes it comes into the action of the body. Your body begins to fidget. Uh, uh, let's say you are walking meditation. You do walking meditation, while in the third phase. Let's say you're in the third phase, and then there starts a lot of thinking. Is like you're still able to note, not to say that you cannot note, but the thinking is like at the background, hovering upon it. It doesn't, you try to not, you still know that it's still around there. You try to walk, you see lah, walk, it's still around. Sometimes yogis, because of that, yogis tend to be very impatient and non-accepting of this type of thoughts hanging around. So what they do, which is actually which is a problem that is going to increase a lot of effort now. So they try to push the mind onto the object stronger and try to cut the thinking off. So the thinking is like the thinking is like hovering around, and then you try to suppress that thinking by put the mind into the more walking sensation. Let's say lift, push, drop, and then you try to notice it very clearly. How come this one don't stop yet? Because you want perfection. You want sui sui, you want perfection in the walking, no thinking around. Then that's the problem. One of the problem. So these things happen. When these things happen, try not to go into over push your thoughts. Oh, sorry. Don't over push your noting of your lifting, pushing, dropping. Not that your lifting, pushing, dropping is not clear. They are clear. It's just that right now, effort is already begin to come up a little bit at the background already. So, other words, it comes up with a little bit of thoughts, and the thoughts are hanging together with the lifting, pushing, dropping. Yeah. So that time, you must learn to accept them. You learn to accept them. Other words, you still can able to notice. Other words, your mind has to notice a little bit on the walking, thinking, walking a bit, thinking a bit, walking, thinking, thinking. Yeah. But a lot of yogis feel that bosong na, bosui because it's contaminated. uh, all a lot of this thinking, all kacau ni. So with that now, you see, sometimes with a little bit of non-acceptance of these things, then we get this one. So next time when it happens like that, take note of that thoughts that is coming together with it. You pay attention to it. Now, this time, these are the small little symptoms is coming in. If you learn to accept them, just stay with it for a while. Sometimes the thoughts you just pass through, and then your mind just can able to stay with the lifting, pushing, dropping. If you go in, you don't like it, then that don't like it, a lot of some aversion is really coming up at the background. That aversion is going to cause more thinking is going to come. Then after that, habis your walking meditation for that period of time. That means it's going to over efforting already. Um, when it happens also, when these things happen, these are when the thoughts are hanging around and you're still walking. This is the beginning aspect of it's going to go into imbalance, but they are not really in balance because you still can able to note something, but you have to be careful already. You have to be careful already if you are too suppressive of it, it's going to go into it. So what can you do at that moment of time? At that moment of time, either you go a little bit faster or you change to a secondary object. You change to a secondary object. Sometimes a secondary object is very helpful in order just to release the mind from the over efforting. The secondary objects in the walking meditation. At the same speed that you are walking, but now you notice your knees are moving, or your hips are moving, or your shoulders are moving. There are so many parts of your leg that are moving actually. Sometimes you can take the whole leg is moving. That's perfectly okay. Just enough for you to rebalance the mind again. Because once you rebalance, things have become clear again, then just continue. So as I said, these are the little symptoms. So too during the sitting also the same thing, the same principle. And you note your rising and falling or sensations, certain thing, but the mind at the behind it starts to make a lot of commentaries, a lot of thinking about what is going on, a lot of commentary. Just you have to be careful. That means the restless mind, if you don't be not careful of it, is going to go into a lot of thinking. When we deal with hindrances, it's a full blown already. Full blown, that means it's already so much restlessness already. But when we deal with balancing, it's before it goes into restless mind, but about to lah. About to, this area is about to. Before that, things are very nice, very clear, very sui, you can note everything very clearly. But this is a little part here that is going to go into a little bit of too much. All we need to do is be aware of this area, then it's settle back into the balance part. So this part here, it's where the symptoms that we take note of it. So before it goes into all these restless nights, then here you notice that some thoughts are coming in together with the noting of your object during that time. So again, same thing, pay attention to it. Pay attention to them, learn to accept them for a while. Don't push the thoughts away. Just be aware of it that they are there. If they disappear, then well and good. But if you cannot, then sometimes you want to change to a sitting and touching, also fine. Sometimes you just change a few objects here and there just to learn to calm down. Then back again to rising, falling again. Sometimes it works. This is so one of the symptoms is the overthinking. Now the next symptom, this one is a little bit more tricky. Where the over energy, over effort, it comes in as a tension, bodily tension. The symptoms has already manifest in the body. Sometimes for some yogis, the tension can be in the head, forehead area. Some people can be in the neck, shoulders, back, spine. Some people, like in the walking, the time, they can be very tense up the whole body. Even they lie down, also become very tense. That means that one actually is too much already. It's already too much. But the thing is that how are you going to differentiate that certain tension, it's because of over effort, and certain tension is because it's just a normal unpleasant feeling. Because tension is unpleasant feeling. So how are you going to differentiate between these two? Right? One of the criteria to differentiate these two is that when there's body, a lot of bodily tension, then your mind is not alert, your mind is not clear. That the noting cannot be done. The noting cannot be done because after all, the balance is not there already. So the noting cannot be done. So you cannot able, the type of tension, more or less, it's a imbalanced type of tension that comes in up onto the body already. The other type of tension is that when you note it, you're aware of it, you can still able to notice what is going on there. That means a changing, your mind is not going to thinking, and then there's a pulling here, tension there, tightness here, and so on. That is normal, unpleasant feelings. This is not over this one here. Because if you're not sure between these two, then every time small little tension, wrong already. Every small little tension come in, Bhante say, over effort. No. You see, balancing goes into that area, an area where a lot of times we don't really notice it. So it goes into a very tiny part area. It's just to know that how your mind is respond to it. If your mind not able to respond to it, then more or less it's this one. Normally, even sometimes the tension of the body arises, a little bit of pulling arises, and so on. You have to learn to bear with it also. There's no such thing as zero tension in the meditation. You are striving here throughout the day. Some parts of the body sure got pain here and there. Some parts become tired. Some parts of the body will become tense due to your striving part of it. And to some people, there are people I read in the internet and so on. Any tension means the meditation wrong. every meditation is gone. Meditation must not have any tension at all. Sit down there, everything must be fine, peaceful, calm, song. That's how nowadays the internet, the Facebook, YouTube, whatever, in the book also, Dharma book also. So meditation must be very calm, there's no tension at all. Any tension, that means your meditation wrong already. That's how things are going into it now. Yeah. So I'm not saying that I'm here when it comes in attention. I'm not saying that tension is a good or bad or whatever. They are just actually as another object. But certain times tension becomes too much. It can be indicative of the mind is over efforting. It can be indicative of the mind is over efforting. Yeah. But doesn't mean that all tension is bad. But if you notice now, again here is again experience of a yogi. If you begin to understand that certain tension is because of your over efforting, and it creates a lot of tightness, pulling, and so on, and then you sit down, your mind cannot able to become clear, then you have to do something already. Uh, uh, what can we do? Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 days just to calm down. One of it is that we have to release when it comes up in the walking. Let's say we have to do just like one phase only, and the one phase right now, of course, a lot of times you may not have enough mindfulness and so on. So here again, the trick of doing one phase is to change object again and again. From the primary object to the secondary object, primary object, secondary object, within the one phase for the whole hour. And then next walking again, you still do like that. Just to keep it, to release all the tension that is built up, to release all the effort that is over effort that is built up. Sometimes it may take you a day or two, or sometimes 3 days. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So it can be that much because we build up again, as I said, we build up on this meditation day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day. Yeah? So that is where sometimes we need to learn to reduce everything, just like that. Then after that, everything good, well, clear, right step, left step, lifting, pushing, dropping, all over again. Then everything from rebalance it back to again, everything become better. That's why, as I said, you need more days over here during the retreat. Then only you learn something, because in retreats there are a lot of all these things. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days just to recover. Sometimes. So this is one thing, the tension part. There are times also, sometimes some yogis, they mention when certain times they are over effort, the tension feels different when they are and compared to their over concentration. And then again, it feels different. When it comes to over concentration, there's also tension builds up in the body. And it builds up in the body, but then that one, it looks a little bit different because of the nature of concentration. It tries to pull you into one single object. And then with that, it tries to hold on to it and it begins to grip it. As the mind begins to grip it. And the time you try to note other object, your mind doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go away. It's still holding on there. You try to push the mind away, still the one. That means that is another type of over concentration. So all these things are symptoms. There are symptoms that has happened in the yogic. Small little things that comes up in the yogi, and then it begins to tense up the yogi. Uh, so here we learn to reduce this one. We learn to reduce the effort a bit just by going into a more softer part. Uh, uh, a lot of us, due to our nature of our work, sometimes during in the interview, many of the yogis that comes in, they have this headache, tension in the head, because they bring from their work on, they bring from their everyday life on. Because they already have all this little thing here already. When you sit down, it becomes a prominent object. Right? It becomes a prominent object because you have to deal with computers, deadline, you have to deal with people. That's the worst actually. And all these type of things, and over time it builds up upon those tension in the head here and there. Yeah. And therefore it's already kind of like it's already there. So when you come into a retreat that time, then a lot of times instead of rising and falling, the prominent object is all here. Yeah. Or a lot of pulling around there. Again, this type of things, you cannot run away from it. You have to, again, you have to learn to accept it and note it. And you have to note it. Now, usually, this type of unpleasant objects, this type of unpleasant objects, when it's already there, this is not like leg, you shake a little bit, okay, over. This head, you turn here also got, you turn there also, you turn up also got, pull it. You're not gonna, the head one is not gonna run away. So what are you gonna do this time? When the pain is, when it's already there, you still want to meditate, not that, it's just that it's already there. What are you going to do that time? So this type of tension, this type of pain, when they come right in front of you, you don't have to go and note very hard on them. Just note softly. Not far, you say, not far, but more like take it like overall, as if like you sit on the sofa like that. Okay, come now. You just watch. You just watch. Yeah. More of a very relaxing nature of noticing. At the same time, you watch how it twist and pull and tight and this one. I also have those type of those type of tension also once in a while. It comes up. Then this time because it's already there so strong, so you don't have to go and push it. All you need to do is just relax there, sit down, just relax and let it change. Let it get more, get less, get pull, get here and there. Don't need to go and drill into it. Don't need to go and push into it. Just sit there. Relax up. Then sometimes it reduces. Sometimes it's going to pull around the area, the forehead, pulling here and there, neck here and there. Just relax. Just watch. Watch how it moves. It's a building up of mindfulness also, and you're actually seeing the changes that's going on. And you don't have to do much of it because the object is so clear. Rising, falling, you cannot do that because rising and falling is always a very more subtle object. This type of pain, tension that you build up from your everyday life and you bring it over to a retreat, that one can be quite a strong one. So sit down there, relax, and just watch it. Watch it through. Watch it through. Don't over push on it because if the moment you over push on it, there's a lot of tension is going to build up. A lot of thinking is going to build up. Something like that. Now, in this Viriya, the more that, the more mindfulness that you have, the more mindfulness that you have, it's comes together with that, the seventh one, the equanimity. When that equanimity comes together with that mindfulness, then the whole mind stays in the balance. It stays in the balance. It's actually the equanimity is the one that keeps everything in balance. But the mindfulness is the one that knows when things become imbalance. Because it knows what is to happen in the present moment. Yeah. But both of them actually comes together. They comes together. So usually we don't have to worry too much about equanimity, because if the mindfulness comes, that equanimity will come. Yeah. So the trick here is that when your object is clear to you, you're not drowsy, you're not overthinking, and object is already clear. Let's say it's changing, it's the rising and falling, it's going sideways, it's pulling a little bit, twisting a little bit. That means object is already clear to you. Object is already at its optimum level. So you don't go and disturb it anymore. You don't go and disturb it anymore. Try to make a stronger effort. Try to note the rising and falling even more clearer. You're not supposed to do like that. When it's things are already clear to you. Then when you just be patient there, keep on noticing it again and again, continuously, it will show you more and more things. And then it will slowly reveal itself more and more things for you to see. Yeah. It's not like you try to drill into it and then you're going to see some more things. When you are not ready for it, it will not come on. Inside there, nothing else already. It's on top of it that you see its characteristic. So once the characteristic is clear, just keep noticing what is going on. Sometimes noticing also, when the noting is an optimum level also, it's like more broad manner. It's broad manner. And then objects can tend to like running from one object to another object. Sometimes it stays for a few seconds of short while, then it runs to another object. Then short while it runs to another, short while it runs to another object. It runs here and there. But the thing is that your mind can able to notice everything that is going through. That means that one is also in the optimum level already. It's already clear. The mind is at optimum level. But sometimes with the yogi's attitude, again, they think that this is not good enough because this is like noticing from on top, Then they completely ignore them. Then they try to look at them. Again, here, they're going to push themselves, trying to look at one object and ignore everything else. Whereas the progress right now, that is trying to show you so many things. It's trying to show you that. But our attitude, we want to take one thing only. We want to ignore the whole thing because these things is not good. If we take all those things, it's not good enough, it's not precise enough. We want that. So with that, you keep on pushing already. You keep on pushing. You keep on trying to more detail. Then you keep noticing very detailedly what is in the object, but you forget about the effort is already actually going stronger and stronger after that. Overthinking again. You see, a lot of times objects, you have to see them as they are, really as they are, not as what you want. Uh, uh, so that one is a small little things here and there, how we keep our mind in the state of balance. All right. Okay, we'll stop here for tonight. Right. Tomorrow we have a Q&A. So again, you can the boxes after that take it to the respective area. Huh? Let me see. So, hey, hold on, everybody. Where's my? Oh, this one I close. Hold on, Okay, okay. Okay, for those who are in the Facebook or YouTube, you want to send your question, you send to Sister Hun Ling by 3 p.m. tomorrow. So for the rest of the yogis here, then the boxes is over there. The male put it downstairs somewhere near the staircase there, and the female also somewhere in the last table or near the staircase there. And then you put your questions, and I'll pick it up by 12 or maybe 5 or 6 in the afternoon for the yogis. And again, here for everybody, the question is should be connected to meditation, connected to the or doubt. Don't ask me all kinds of worldly questions. I'm not able, not able to answer all your things. So meditation on Dhamma should be good. Okay. Right, we share merits. Idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.